Hello, welcome to Old Stuff I Have Found, the YouTube channel where I record and talk over old tat I find in charity shops, second-hand stores, and well, just on the street. Today we got a 1960s edition of Monopoly. I found this in an Age UK warehouse on an industrial estate. Basically, me and my missus were getting our car MOT'd, and there was nothing on this industrial estate but a Greggs, an absolute misery. And we found this Age UK warehouse. My fiance quite begrudgingly let me go in because she knew I was going to come out with piles of tat. And whilst browsing the board games, she picked out this. So it's her own fault, really. And so we picked it up. So let's get into the box. So inside the box, you have exactly what you'd expect even from a modern Monopoly set. You've got counters. This one contains the boot, the car, the iron, the top hat, the warship, and the dog. The warship will become important in a minute when we start talking about age, but we'll get back to that. You've got two sets of die. I can't confirm that these are the original die, as I can't find any information about the colour coding or property of the die. And to be honest, the blue one looks like it's slightly different from the red one. And then you've got houses and hotels. Again, these will become important in identifying the actual age of the set. And then you've got the traditional money, you've got the property cards, the business cards, and the community chest and chance cards. You also have a set of instructions. These, again, will be critical in identifying the age of the set. But also, if you read through the rules, you will see that even in the 60 years that since this was made itself, the rules of Monopoly have barely changed. It's stayed one of the constants in life in an ever-changing world. And obviously in the box you also have the board. The board, along with the rules, haven't changed much in the last 60 years, as if at all since the inception of Monopoly in the 1930s. The only differences are font changes that will come with different change in the technology of printing, as well as a difference in the train symbol on the board, which I found quite interesting. Other than that, it's a pretty standard Monopoly board, and would not look out of place and would be playable with modern sets. So next we move on to the age of the set. So finding the age of old stuff can be somewhat problematic at best and an absolute ball ache at worst, but we have an advantage with branded products such as Monopoly. So branded products such as Monopoly will have a copyright and a trademark date, and that date will be printed on either the box, the instructions, or something contained in the product. From previous inspection, I know it's not the box, but from prior inspection and something I previously already shown you, we know that it is on the instructions. So on the instructions, on the back at the bottom, it says copyright 1935, 1946, 1961. 1935 being the original inception of Monopoly, and 1961 being the most recent date and what we're most interested in. So we know that it was made at least after 1961. There are some stipulations to this system though. So obviously, not knowing the upper or next copyright date, because I couldn't find one, but I have a feeling that has something to do with Parker Brothers getting acquired by Hasbro. Also, it's ensuring that these instructions are the original instructions, which can be problematic with getting these products from second-hand stores and charity shops. Not in a malicious way, just a lot of people, we've all done it. You lose bits and you replace bits. You lose bits and replace bits. But luckily, with knowing the 1961 trademark or copyright stampage on the instructions, we have a good idea of what else to look for within that era and what's changed. So another good place to start is the houses. So something about these houses compared to their modern counterpart is the fact that they are wooden. And wooden houses and wooden hotels didn't become commonplace within Monopoly until at least the 70s. So we can narrow this down as to, at the very least, early 70s to the 60s. Next up is counters. So, providing these are the original counters in the original set, we can use this counter to give us an advantage in finding out the date. So, as previously mentioned, this one is very important due to the fact that Monopoly changed out this particular specific counter, the warship counter, to a pleasure craft in either 1967 or 1968. So that gives us a range of, at the very most, 1961 to 1968 on the age of this board. So last question is, how much did I pay for it and is it worth anything? So I paid 50p for the set. And is it worth anything? Short answer, no. The long answer is no, because 1960s was one of Monopoly's early heydays. This is due to a reputation that the board game garnered during the Second World War as a useful asset in smuggling useful information and useful equipment and strategies to prisoner of war camps in German prisoner of war camps, the British prisoners of wars, in order to help them escape effectively. And which is an absolutely fantastically cool fact about Monopoly. But as a result, and for reasons including modern associated media such as televisions were far too expensive for most normal households to even rent, let alone buy, that Monopoly and other board games were common. So these are widespread and a dime a dozen in your local charity shop. So in summary, this 1960s edition of British Monopoly would be a fantastic addition to any board game collector's collection, although it does lack in actual value, although I'm sure the families who have owned this game throughout the years would disagree with that statement. And finally, thank you very, very much for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and see you next time with my next bit of tat.